Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be my ex has a new boyfriend. Well, I've got an email here from a guy, and this particular girl that's his ex, they've known each other since they were in 6th grade, and this is his first real love and real long-term relationship. So you can imagine it's not easy to go through a breakup with somebody like that, because when you're young, you don't have life experience. You haven't had several girlfriends or dated that many women, and you don't know any better. You don't know what you don't know, and the more relationships you have and the more breakups that you go through, they do get easier. It doesn't mean they're easy, but they do get easier to get over, because when you've gotten over a breakup in the past, if you've done it at least once, you know eventually that you can do it again. And so he basically agreed to be friends with this girl for almost the better part of a year, and now he found out that she's in a relationship with somebody else. So he's thinking, what else can I do to get another chance or change her mind? So let's see what we can do to help change this guy's mindset and his line of thinking, so he can get to a place where he will either attract her back or find somebody better. Because obviously he's done a lot of damage at this point by pursuing and chasing and calling and agreeing to be your friend, and for his troubles putting his personal life on hold. She always knew she had a backup plan. She went out and found somebody else and got into a relationship, and he's like, see you later. It's brutal. I did things like this when I was his age, so I know exactly what he's thinking and feeling. I've been there, done that, got plenty of those fucking t-shirts. So I got a quote that I wrote, and we'll go through his email. And the quote says, when a relationship ends, it is not by our choice. We often become obsessed with trying to get the other person back. Why? Rejection tends to breed obsession because our whole identity is associated with being in that relationship. We often feel like we no longer know who we are because everything about our lives has become associated with being in that relationship. The best medicine for a breakup is to get refocused on being the fun, outgoing, interesting, passionate, and driven person we were before the relationship. By focusing on creating a life and lifestyle that is exciting and compelling to us, eventually we will naturally attract a person who shares similar goals and values by the person we have become. We must become what we want to attract. And so you'll see by the end of the email he's starting to do that, but it's obvious he's still pretty attached to the idea, the concept of getting this woman back. Because it's his first real love. And you've known somebody since 6th grade, you think, hey, this is like something right out of the fucking movies. We're supposed to be together forever. I mean, that's what I was promised in the movies. That's what I saw in It's a Wonderful Life. But the reality is real life doesn't match make-believe. So he says, hey, coach, I was with this girl for a year and a half, and things went great. Chemistry was there, and we've been friends since 6th grade, and she was my first love. Long story short, she broke up with me exactly a year ago due to me becoming complacent, taking things for granted, time, effort, etc. And so the thing that nobody in this situation thinks about is, what caused you to stop making the effort? Yeah, maybe you didn't know any better, but at one point in your relationship, you were making the effort. But when you become bored, maybe you become disinterested, or the relationship runs its course, you start making less of an effort. When you don't value the relationship as much, you're just not going to make the effort. It's the same thing with a job. You may have loved the job that you had now initially in the beginning, and now it's a motherfucker just to get up and get out of bed every day and go to the office. And it's just like when it comes to working with somebody, when you don't love what you're doing, actually when you hate what you're doing, and it's not very compelling what you're doing, you're going to work just hard enough to not get fired. And in a relationship, you're going to be barely making the effort to keep it going. And the whole purpose of all relationships is you go there to give. And at some point you stop giving, you got to say, well, what turned you off? What caused you to not value the relationship? And when I do phone sessions with men and women who are trying to get their ex back, I always focus on that, especially when the topic comes up that, yeah, I took her for granted, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I was like, well, you got to look at that, because even if you get the person back, everything that turns you off about them is still there. They're still the same person. And remember, rejection tends to breed obsession. And when you get the girl back 3 months, 6 months, a year down the road, she's still the same person that you lost interest in before. And if it happened once before, unless she's undergoing some kind of major metamorphosis, you're probably going to get turned off again. Because the reality is this is his first real long-term girlfriend. He doesn't know what he doesn't know yet because he just hasn't had a lot of experience. He said it was also due to us being at different colleges in different cities, so long distance played a part. I mean, yeah, when you're in your 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, that period in your life, you're never going to be surrounded by as many beautiful single people that are your age, that have the same goals, have the same values, because you're all in college together, ever again after that. And if your boyfriend or your girlfriend is a couple 100 miles away, or maybe 1,000 miles away, or maybe in another country, and you got all these beautiful people around you, and you're hanging out, you're at a party, you meet somebody, they're attracted to you, you're attracted to them, things happen. Especially when you're young, you don't have any experience. You think, I got this great person here that lives in my city, that lives in my town, and I got the person from high school that I hardly ever see. It's not like we can go home and wake up together every morning. And you don't have a lot of life experience. That's why a lot of relationships end after high school when people go off to college. There's lots of opportunities. That's a target-rich environment for everybody. He says, after the breakup, as many men do, I made mistakes that I didn't realize I was making. Continuing to contact her, being her friend, posting emotional subliminal messages via social media. Yeah, she could tell that you were just drooling all over your computer for her. You were stuck in the past. Remember, rejection breeds obsession. And the reality is, before you got dumped, you really didn't give a fuck anyways. You really weren't making an effort because you didn't value the relationship anymore. You didn't value being with her anymore. But as soon as it was her idea to dump you, there was like, oh, this is the love of my life, I got to get her back. Rejection breeds obsession. After doing research, I realized that those things do more harm than good and makes you look desperate, weak, needy, and they take you for granted in a sense because you're so available to them and there is no fear of losing you. Yeah, I mean, if you value yourself and love yourself and respect yourself, you're like, hey, it sucks that you don't want to stay together, you don't want to work it out, but I'm not going to twist your arm. Hey, I wish you all the best. Call me if it doesn't work out, but I'm not interested in just being your pal and your friend because I want to be able to move on. Never agree to be somebody's backup plan or their option, ever. A month ago, she started dating someone new 11 months after we broke up. I was obviously devastated and hurt because I had aspirations of getting back together, and I genuinely think I could be happy with her long term. That is delusional, dude. All you got to do is look at your actions and what you actually did when you had her. And when you had her, you obviously weren't that happy with her because you weren't making any effort at all to keep her. So you got to see reality as it is. Not better than it is and not worse than it is, but as it is. And if you step back in time to where you weren't making the effort because, quite frankly, it just wasn't doing it for you anymore. Especially when you're surrounded by all these beautiful girls in college. Trust me, dude, take advantage of it while you are there. I wish I knew this shit in college. It wasn't until many years later that I learned this stuff. You're in a better position at your age than I was when I was your age. Make the most of it. I tried to make things work, and I learned from my mistakes, but unfortunately I didn't know about all the psychological tactics that you had to follow. It's not psychological tactics, dude. It's about being a man. It's about being in your masculinity. It's about being an attractive human being who values yourself, loves yourself, and respects yourself. And the fact that you wrote a statement like that tells me that you're looking at this from a tactical and technique perspective instead of a mindset and a quality of life, a way of being type of perspective. And if you're looking, cherry picking things, trying to use tactics, it's not going to give you sustainable success. You have to understand the philosophy and the mindset that's in the book and I talk about in the videos. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been an easy process, but I just completed a month of no contact. Again, it's not no contact because it's a technique to get her back. It's I love myself and I value myself and I respect myself. I spent 11 months being stuck in friend zone thinking it's going to work to get her back. And the reality is she offered you friendship and blue balls. And for your troubles, you get more blue balls and nothing. So therefore, the strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. When you love yourself and you value yourself, you're like, you know what, it's too painful to just be friends with you. Maybe someday down the road when I have a new girlfriend, maybe we can be friends. But right now, I need to move on with my life. You should focus on your new relationship with your new boyfriend, and I wish you all the best. If it doesn't work out, get in touch with me, but I don't want to stay in contact if you're still dating him or somebody else. And if I'm still single when you get in touch, maybe we can talk about it. I also highly encourage you to review 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back. I just completed a month of no contact, which I will continue until she reaches out like you explained in your video. There is no guarantee that you're going to get this girl back or that you're going to get another chance with her. I don't teach that, and anybody that says you'll definitely get the ex back is full of shit. It's a marketing ploy. If you apply what's in the book and you adopt the philosophy of being, you're going to make yourself the most attractive man that you can be. Not only potentially to your ex, but every other new girl that you're encountering. Again, it's a target-rich environment, dude. And the reality is, if you're honest with yourself, you really weren't that into that girl anymore. It's just she happened to be the first one to pull the plug on it. And statistically, women 70-75% of the times are the ones that initiate the breakup. Remember, women tend to be more in touch with their emotions, and when she ain't feeling it, she's going to be more inclined to act upon those feelings, as us guys will just kind of keep plodding along and plodding along. Like I said, she did you a favor. I've unfollowed her on all social media, and I'm just working on myself, my success, and focusing on what I can control. That's all you really can do. Create a life and lifestyle that's pleasing to you, so you can become an attractive guy again, so other women will see and recognize your value, and you'll have other choices. And when you recognize that you have other choices, especially you start hooking up with a new girl, you're not going to give a fuck about the ex that's hundreds of miles away and who for your troubles probably blew some sunshine up your ass and said, oh, I'm confused, I'm not sure. And you stayed in backup position with her, and for your troubles, she says, oh, hey, by the way, I got a new boyfriend. I'm glad I wasted 11 months of my life. Dude, that's almost a full year of school, and you're not going to get that year back. Take advantage of what you have now. I just wanted some feedback on what I should do moving forward. Are we done for good? You should assume that it's over and you're never going to get another chance with her. And you should be excited about your future and the fact that you're surrounded by fucking beautiful women who are away from home for the first time from their parents, and they want to experience everything there is to offer. Should I wait out her new relationship and see if that lasts? Come on, man. That's a fucking total beta male move. Have some self-respect, dude. You waited it out for 11 months, and for your troubles, she got a new boyfriend. You made it. You helped her get over you and find somebody new. He says it's tough, but I feel every day is a step in the right direction. That's all you way you gotta look at it. You gotta focus on trying to get a little better each and every day and apply the things that you're learning in the book and start dating, start talking to new women, and get out there and get some experience. Because once you see that you have other choices and other options, especially when you apply what's in the book, you're going to be even more attractive, an even more attractive guy than you were when you were with her. And guess what that means? As you become a better quality man, the quality of the women that you're going to be able to attract is going to go up as well. And so what you typically find when you become a better quality man, the women are more attractive and your goals and values are more aligned. And therefore you're going to be like, I don't really want the ex back. And that's the right way to go about it. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a phone or Skype coaching session, and you can do that by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whatever coaching option works for you. And I will talk to you soon.